Greetings, church. Gracious and warm welcome to you. I am Pastor Carleton Smee. I've met a handful of you so far because we're just in this weird time. And so I thought it would be good to do some sort of video, right? Because during this whole COVID thing, my buddy here and I, we've been doing things online once a week for our previous parish. And so I thought, why don't we do an introduction video? And so we're going to do something like we normally have. And I have brought in my lovely assistant. You want to introduce yourself?
I'm Josiah.
This is Josiah. He is my oldest son.
I'm your only son.
You are my only son. Yes, and his sister is in her room, and she doesn't need to be in. But what I normally do with my children's sermons is we have a cloth bag, right? The magic bag. Mm-hmm. And normally somebody takes that home and they get to put something in it. And then they bring it back to church the next Sunday. And I use that item in order to talk about God and or Jesus with it. It's an exercise to help us all, including the kids, to be able to talk about God and Jesus with others using regular items, as well as for us to be able to see God and Christ in these little everyday things. So I don't have the bags, but I have a box, an Amazon box, because it is the COVID world right now, so you get everything from Amazon. And I've put a few things in there that kind of describe me and my family and all that stuff. And so what Josiah is going to do is he is going to pick out something random out of that box, and I will have to use that item to talk about my life, my upbringing, my family, my ministry, whatever. So, item number 1. Yes! All right, so he picked out my Fulham Football Club jersey. Now, why do you think I have this in the box?
Fulham's your favorite soccer team?
Fulham is my favorite soccer team. Soccer, I love soccer. Alex already found this out the other night at a youth committee meeting. But Fulham is my favorite team. I love them. Yes, Cottagers. They're awesome. They are a team in London, England. They play in the Premier League. And so if you ever want to get me talking for a long time, we can just talk about soccer and or football, whatever you want to call it. Football, yes. And so if you ever, you can just ask me anything, and I might not have a good answer, but I'll definitely have an opinion. All right, so next. I'm a little worried. Oh, yes! I had to put this item in here, if we notice. Grumpy. Yeah, see? Yeah. I always joke that he's my alter ego. No, actually, I love Grumpy. He's one of my favorite Disney characters. I have another item in there that'll be closer to. But what I love about Grumpy is that it's able to talk about our Lutheran understanding of people, right? If you've ever watched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Grumpy's not... You need to sneeze? Okay, you do that. Grumpy is not exactly everybody's favorite dwarf, right?
Hey, there's stuff in the box.
I'm guessing he's talking to the cat, by the way. Grumpy's not exactly everybody's favorite, right? It's probably Dopey or Happy or something like that. Because we see Grumpy and he's, what? Grumpy, right?
I feel like...
Well, with Grumpy, though, he turns out to be one of the ones that saves Snow White. And he turns out to actually really care about her and love her and all these things. And so I tend to keep this with me. I'll wear it sometimes during colder weather at church and other things. And it's actually a good conversation starter. But I look at it as this opportunity to talk about how, sometimes, we can be types of people. And yet, God has still done something amazing in us. So this is kind of an item I use to talk about how I look at the world, how I see theology and God's working with us. And so that's why it's in there. Anyways, all right, next.
I feel like Dopey's just a joke for how people act once they do dope.
Dopey's just a joke about how people act once they do dope.
Or not exactly a joke.
I wouldn't know about that. I didn't go to public college. But anyways. All right. Now this one, I have a few hats. Put this hat on. Yeah.
Still fits. Barely.
Barely. Yes, Smee's Plumbing. This is Smee's Plumbing. Yes, my last name is Smee, just like the pirate in Peter Pan. Carleton, like the college. But I come from a family of plumbers. My great-grandfather founded this plumbing business a long time ago, almost 100 years ago. And my brother now runs it. It's been in our family for that long. He took over from my uncle. But I always hold on to this hat to try and remind myself of where I came from. The fact that we're a family that sees hard work as being important, but also we understand the joys of using our vocations and working for God in that way, where sometimes we have to deal with a lot of stuff in life. And this reminds me that even though we deal with a lot of stuff, we still have this important job from God to do, like being a plumber. And so I have this here to remind me of that. And just if you're wondering, this is from out in California. I'm originally from California. That's where where my side of the family is. My dad and my stepmom, my stepbrothers live out there, and my uncle still lives out there. My mom and my stepdad live in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I have a stepsister in Kansas City. But this is something that helps me to remember those things and to remind myself of where I came from and the importance of that. But all right, next. Yes! He's so cute. Yes. If you come into my office at the church, you'll see my altar to Eeyore up above my desk. I love Eeyore. He is my favorite, most favoritist Disney character ever. And if anyone asks, he's not depressed. He's not a pessimist. He's a realist. He takes life in that way. Oh, you laugh. Are you laughing at me or the cat? Both. Thank you. He's a realist. And that tends to be, he's my spirit animal, kind of. I can often find the things of life, and yet you always find that with Eeyore, he's like, it's okay, I guess.
The sky is falling.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
He does the better voice than I do. But at the same time, he kind of just goes, oh, well, that's the way it's going to be, kind of a thing. And so I love him. I love that about him. He's my favorite. Plus, he's nice and soft and fluffy. Okay. All right. Is there one more in there?
There's one more.
One more. All right. Okay. This is a sign that I still need to put up in our house that my wife made. Our family, just the right mix of chaos and love, which is very true. I'm married to Carrie. She's put up with me for over 21 years. We've actually been together for almost 24 years now. I'm surprised she's hung around that long. I was telling somebody the other day at church that she had cataract surgery this last year, and she has a detached retina in one eye, so she can only see out of that one eye, and had a cataract, and then she got it fixed. And I was kind of worried because now she can see 20/20, and she might see what she got herself into, and I was really concerned about that. But she's stuck around. She hasn't, But anyways, I'm married to Carrie, and we have two kids, Josiah, right here, and Liesel, and she's over there. And we have two cats, Kenobi and Benny, and they are. You're going to pick them up?
This is Benny.
Yeah, he's the big one. And then Kenobi, he's the dumb one. Yes. Oh, hi. We're going to sit in front of the camera now. Okay. Anyways. But we love doing things together as a family. I'm hoping that they have the chance to come down and join us for worship on a few different occasions. My wife is a nurse in Park Rapids. She's the infection control nurse at Heritage Living Center, so she's kind of up to her eyeballs in all the COVID stuff. And we're a swimming family, and so for 6 months out of the year, we're busy with girls and boys swim seasons over at Park Rapids High School. My daughter is going to be graduating this next year, and so that's part of the reason why I'll be commuting from Nevis, from my humble abode here, my living room, down to be with you guys for this next year so that she has the chance to graduate with her friends. But I look forward to having the opportunity to get to know you more. I hope this helped you learn a few things about me. And Josiah and I will probably be hanging out a little bit together with you guys every now and then. He's more up to coming to stuff, right? Yeah. While mommy's working. And hopefully we'll have the chance to be able to do a few things together and see one another. But until then, blessings to you. And I look forward to getting to know you more during this next year or more. But blessings of God be upon you. Go in peace. Serve the Lord.